Good morning to all my book and writer friends. If you are here, it's because you are either in nonfiction book camp, you're interested in nonfiction book camp, or you have a nonfiction book idea that you've been sitting with for a really long time and you want some guidance on how to get started. In this video, what I'm going to be doing is telling you a little bit more about nonfiction book camp and how you can use the following videos after this one to help you organize your thoughts and get your nonfiction book idea down onto paper so that you can finally start writing. If you're in nonfiction book camp, then you already know that over the next 4 weeks, you and I are going to be working very closely together to organize your thoughts. You're going to be getting 20 daily prompts to help you every single morning think about what you need to be doing and what you need to be thinking about to get your story out, and how to pull personal experiences out of yourself so that you have enough to actually write your memoir, your cookbook, your blog book, your book about your expertise, right? We're gonna pull all this together so that you can finally write. If you're not in nonfiction book camp though, you can also use these intro videos to help you start to organize your thoughts. The next few videos in this series are gonna cover topics like who are you, what your audience is, what you actually want to talk about, what your audience wants to hear, and what you already have that's going to help you get into the outlining and finally the writing mode. If you're registered for book camp and you're in a book camp with me, you're going to be using these videos just as a supplement to the information that you're already going to be getting emailed to you every morning. These videos are here to help you to contextualize what I'm saying in a little bit of a different way so that you understand it a little bit better as you're working through your daily prompts every day on your own. And then at the end of the week, you're going to join our group calls and our one-on-one sessions to make sure that you have used every prompt in the way that works best for your book. But if you're not in nonfiction book camp, that's okay too. You can use this series to help you organize your thoughts and also start thinking about your book in a lot of different ways that will help you go from an outline to finally sitting down to write. In the next few weeks and in book camp, we're going to be covering a lot of different topics. But the first thing that I want to cover today is what is nonfiction? Right? Because we have to start there before we even get into book camp, before we can even outline your idea, before we can even start to pull emotional experiences out of you. We have to know what you're writing. So, what is nonfiction? A lot of people have a hard time understanding what nonfiction is right off the bat because on the other side, we've got fiction. So the easiest way that I want you to remember what the difference between fiction and nonfiction is that fiction equals fake and nonfiction equals not fake. Just use the first letter of each of those words to kind of build into your brain that fiction is fake and nonfiction is not fake. So in fiction world, you want to imagine a writer kind of sitting there making shit up out of their head as they go, right? These are the stories that we love watching, the Stranger Things, the To All the Boys I Loved Before, anything on Netflix, HBO, Apple TV, stuff that you're consuming that you know this probably didn't happen in real life. This is just someone's imagination and a really cool story at that. Nonfiction is all the stories that are not fake. So nonfiction are going to be your biographies. I had mentioned earlier cookbooks, anything about your expertise, business books, self-help books, guidebooks, things like that, right? Parenting guides, things that are based in reality and are either there to teach you a lesson, to reflect on a lesson that the writer might have learned themselves, or to communicate true information. So, for example, if you're writing a book that's inspired by true life events, like things that happened to you when you grew up, but you want to change the names, you want to change some things that actually happened, you want to embellish a little bit to make the story a little bit more interesting, or you want to pull in different characters so that you're telling something a little bit more thematic, then you're probably writing fiction. But if you're writing a story about your own history, your family's history, or maybe the history of someone else, but you think you're the best person to communicate this through writing, then you might be writing nonfiction. If you're writing a book about your business or the expertise that you have and you're really trying to connect and communicate with, let's say, clients, you're probably writing nonfiction. Now that you know that you're writing nonfiction, the way that we approach outlining a nonfiction book has to be a little bit different than the way that we approach a fiction book. Because like we said, in fiction, we're making all the things up. So we have to start at the beginning with learning how to come up with ideas. But in nonfiction, we're doing things a little bit differently. In nonfiction, we're really focused on what your personal experiences are, what you've actually learned, the hard facts that you can put into your book, and also what your audience needs. Because in the end, that's what really matters, is connecting with your audience. So over the next few days and weeks, you're going to use my questions and these videos to help you start outlining your nonfiction book. And if you're registered for book camp, then you're going to use these videos and these questions as a supplement to all the information and instructions that you're going to get through book camp. Along the way, if you have any questions for me, you're going to send me an email at q@qwritesabook.com or leave me a comment down below and I'll make sure to answer it for you. I am really excited to get started. I'm really excited to see you in book camp. And if you're doing this on your own, then I'm really excited to see how these videos help you put your book together. All right, guys, I'm Q and I'm writing a book. If you're in book camp, I'll see you soon. If not, I hope to hear from you soon. And if you are writing, happy writing.